Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic, hope doing well, and today we're going to be looking at an article from our friends over at Bounding Into Comics, John F. Trent specifically, about how AT&T CEO apparently has no idea why Hollywood is reacting the way that it is, because apparently no one wants their movies to go back to the theaters more than the people who have just basically signed the death note for all theaters. But before we dive into this story, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe, make sure you have that bell notification click. That way you get notified every time a new video goes live, and when, of course, I go live on the channel as well. So this is indeed coming from John F. Trent, and it is interesting, to say the least, about how little it is and how basically little awareness these people in Hollywood and especially these executives really have over the decisions that they make. AT&T CEO John Stankey, great name, responded to a number of Hollywood celebrities' reaction to Warner Brothers deciding to release films on HBO Max and in theaters simultaneously. Warner Media Studios and Network's CEO Ann Sarnoff made the announcement stating, "No one wants films back on the big screen more than we do. So therefore we put all of our films for 2021 on HBO Max at the same time to give theaters a healthy bit of competition where we get all of the money and don't have to share it with anyone." That was a direct quote. So she continued, "We know new content is the lifeblood of theatrical exhibition, but we have to balance this with the reality that most theaters in the US will likely operate at reduced capacity throughout 2021. Yes. I wonder why that is. Could it be because there are no new movies? Could it be because your choices to hold off all of your new releases are keeping theaters from being able to grow? Could be. Could also be another thing, I guess. Quote, "With this unique one-year plan, we can support our partners in exhibition with a steady pipeline of world-class films, while also giving moviegoers who may not have access to theaters or aren't quite ready to go back to the movies the chance to see our amazing 2021 films. We see it as a win-win for film lovers and exhibitors, and we're extremely grateful to our filmmaking partners for working with us on this innovative response to these circumstances," Sarnoff concluded, "even though many of those people that you work with are critical of you, including people like Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, who, by the way, made the film of this picture right here, Dune. He's not happy about this deal. Christopher Nolan is absolutely not happy about this deal. He had one of the best quotes ever when he said, and I quote, roughly, "People went to sleep thinking they worked for a great movie production company, and woke up working instead for a subpar, crappy streaming service." Yes. He said those words, and I've covered it in another video. Check that out on the channel if you want to see his exact words and not me completely butchering it. But it is interesting nonetheless that we have indeed these executives who have no idea what they're talking about. A win-win for film fans and exhibitors. Now, don't get me wrong. This is going to be a win for people that would rather stay at home than go to a theater. This is going to be a win for people who like to save money, because Lord knows it's going to be a lot cheaper to have a streaming service, to have access to all of the movies you would have seen in theaters anyway, and then save on things like popcorn, soft drinks, gasoline, etc. However, for you to say that this is a win for exhibitors is a bit of a joke, because if you honestly think that, one, they're already working at a limited capacity, which is already going to negatively impact them, and then two, you're going to release your film on a streaming service that people can access much more cheaply, basically trying to push them to stay at home, and therefore that limited capacity that theaters already have in the first place is barely going to get filled for that very reason. Not to mention, when you put it out on HBO Max or other streaming services, you make it that much easier for the film to be pirated. But apparently, it's a win-win for both film lovers and exhibitors. That second part about exhibitors, I find hysterical. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar added, quote, "After considering all available options and the projected state of moviegoing throughout 2021, we came to the conclusion that this was the best way for Warner Media's motion picture business to navigate the next 12 months. More importantly, we are planning to bring consumers 17 remarkable movies throughout the year, giving them the choice and the power to decide how they want to enjoy these films," he continued. He concluded, "Our content is extremely valuable, unless it's sitting on a shelf not being seen by anyone. We believe this approach serves our fans, supports exhibitors and filmmakers, and enhances the HBO Max experience, creating value for all." Now, we all know that the only reason why, and the main reason why that this is happening, is because of that last point. He wants to boost the HBO Max experience because the service is not doing nearly as well as it should. One of the many reasons why it's not is because, and I've brought this up before and will continue to do so until they change it, it is still not available. HBO Max, not yet available as of December 10th on the Roku platform at a wide margin. Interesting how that's the case, seeing that Roku is the #1 streaming provider when it comes to streaming devices in the marketplace, and their app is not available on it yet because of some behind-the-scenes chaos with them basically trying to have a pissing contest with Roku, sure, over contracts of some kind and some sort. Now, here's the thing. How do you expect your service to grow if you don't have it on Roku? One way you could do that is by saying, hey guys, you know all those great films that you were looking forward to seeing in the theaters again? And you know all those great films that our theaters were planning on showings to try and get people back into the seats? Oh, we're just going to put those on HBO Max. You're welcome. But yeah, it's good for filmmakers and exhibitors. It's a win-win scenario. Someone else who was not very happy about that was James Gunn. He also voiced his criticism of this move as well. He's, of course, got The Suicide Squad set to come out as well. Warner Brothers Picture Group chairman Toby Emmerich also stated, quote, this hybrid exhibition model enables us to best support our films, creative partners, and moviegoing in general throughout 2021. We have a fantastic, wide-ranging slate of titles from talented and visionary filmmakers next year, and we're excited to be able to get these movies in front of audiences around the world. And as always, we'll support all of our releases with innovative and robust marketing campaigns for their theatrical debuts, while highlighting this unique opportunity to see our films domestically via HBO Max as well. Stressing that last point, especially because we all know this is again a move to get more people to HBO Max. You do not care about film exhibitors. You do not care about movie theaters. If you did, you wouldn't be doing this. In the same sentence you have in these same words by these stupid executives, you say, hey, we're not releasing our films because they're limited in capacity. And so how are we going to fix that? Oh, we're not going to release them into theaters to try and bring that capacity to full, or at the very least try and get people back into the movie-going mindset. No. Instead, we're just going to put it on our service, so that way more people subscribe to the service, so therefore we get that money and we get to keep it, and we don't have to split it with anyone like we do when we get money from the theaters, for instance, because these are subscriptions, and we can't guarantee that all of these subscriptions are for this exact movie. And so therefore, hey, James Gunn, you may have been promised a cut of the film when it got into a theatrical release, but hey, most of the money we got from subscriptions to HBO Max, which we probably got from your movie, but since we cannot prove it, we're just going to keep it all. You see how it works? You see how HBO Max, you see how Warner Brothers is trying to play this? Now again, I'm definitely not someone that's going to feel too bad if a movie star or a movie director who's already getting paid way too much gets cut out of some money, but I do have a problem, and I do take issue when movie theaters are the ones that are going to be the most hurt by all of this, because James Gunn might lose out on some money. Dune's producers and directors, like Denis Villeneuve, might lose out on some money. Christopher Nolan might lose out on some money. Wonder Woman 1984 and the people involved might lose out on some money. But at the end of the day, the biggest loser in all of this are movie theaters. And if there are no movie theaters, because of your decisions, well, I guess that's never going to change. And that is just terrible, in my opinion. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that these CEOs and these executives have any idea what they're talking about? To me, it's just like they're talking out of the side of their mouth, and they're just talking out of their ass at this point, because they honestly have no idea how any of this stuff works. It's amazing how these people are in positions of power, getting paid millions upon millions in bonuses and all that other crap every single year, and yet they would stupidly say, oh, this is great for theaters because it gets the movies back out. But we're also going to push people to stay home, and I'm sure you're going to probably offer some deals for people to subscribe as well, free trials, etc. Yeah, it's going to be great for theaters. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and also if you want to support this channel, please check out the links in the description to find out better ways to do that, other than, of course, YouTube's crappy monetization program. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my December Patreon and Subscribe Star members, starting off with Patreon, Albertus Magnus, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P., Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Harold Francis, The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Carney, Kenneth Camille, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Outpost Dyer, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Miss Martin Muses, also known as Teresa Martin, Theodore Bendon, Tina Bogend, Tina B, and the modern Major General, Laura Story. Gotta give you that shout out for that one time that you were doubled up. Thank you very much for being my Patreon members. And now a huge shout out to all of my December Subscribe Star members we have over there with Stand For, Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadan G. Adams, and ZK Man. Thank you all so much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members. If you want your name shouted out at the end of every video and live stream on the main channel, please consider joining over on those platforms. You can also get access to things like exclusive giveaways of 4Ks, Blu-rays. If you want a DVD, I guess you could also get a DVD as well, digital codes, and of course, you get to possibly join me on the channel once a month for the Chosen of Valhalla live stream and access to an exclusive podcast featuring John the Flick Pick Flickinger, where we have a lot of fun talking about movies and tons of other random things. Anyway, if you want to support these things, check out the links in the description of this video. And also, please consider joining my other channel, the OMB Report, where I talk about not just movies like I do over here, but I focus more so on politics, news, and culture in that order. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for your love and support. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.